ಈಗೆಂದು PSM ಎಆರ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕೂಡ ಬಹು ಬೋಟ್ ಕೂಡಪ್ಪ
Making headlines this hour, the government is set to officially roll out its landmark Housing for All scheme, opening applications for 15,000 land plots and 7,900 flats in the Greater Malé region. The Ministry of Higher Education, Labor and Skills Development or MOHE states that 205 students were awarded scholarships in 2025. And State Minister for Homeland Security and Technology and National Drug Agency's Chairman Ahmad Siddique says the government's move to impose the death penalty on drug traffickers is widely supported by society. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. The government is set to officially roll out its landmark Housing for All scheme, opening applications for 15,000 land plots and 7,900 flats in the Greater Malé region. The criteria for land and housing distribution were made public following amendments by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, who addressed concerns during several public consultation meetings held late last year. Originally set to open for applications on the 4th of May, the date was pushed to the 15th of January to accommodate revisions. Key changes include allowing recipients for 1 and 2 bedroom flats under past schemes to apply for 3 bedroom units provided they meet conditions based on family size. Of the 7,900 flats, 4,000 are reserved for Malé residents, 1,500 for islanders, and 2,400 for priority groups, now expanded to 15 subcategories, including taxi drivers, tourism and fisheries workers, and individuals previously denied housing despite eligibility. Similarly, land distribution prioritizes 10,000 plots for Malé residents, 3,000 for other islanders living in Malé, and 500 for persons with disabilities. Applicants must apply exclusively online via the government housing portal using EFOS credentials. Eligibility hinges on proof of 15 years residency in Malé until the 14th of January 2026, with exceptions requiring documented justification. Priority will be determined by income, living conditions, and family status. The application window runs until the 14th of April, with the government urging applicants to carefully select the most fitting category to optimize their chances. Detailed scoring criteria and rules are published in the official government gazette. This initiative marks a significant step in alleviating the nation's housing crisis under President Muiz's pledge for equitable housing access. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs reveals that the previously announced decision to suspend on-arrival visa issuance for travelers to Bangladesh has been annulled. The ministry said the clarification follows an earlier travel advisory issued to Maldivians planning to travel to Bangladesh during the period surrounding the country's parliamentary election, scheduled for the 12th of February. The earlier advisory had stated that Bangladesh would pause on-arrival visa issuance from the 15th of January to the 15th of February as part of heightened security measures ahead of the election. However, the ministry has now confirmed that this decision has been annulled. The ministry said Maldivian travelers may continue to follow existing visa arrangements when traveling to Bangladesh. For further information regarding visas or related inquiries, travelers may contact the High Commission by phone on 3320859 or via email at mission.male@mofa.gov.pd. The Ministry of Higher Education, Labor and Skills Development, or MOHE, states that 205 students were awarded scholarships in 2025. According to data released by the ministry, the government invested $14,362,041.36 in scholarship opportunities over the past year. Scholarships were awarded to 205 new recipients comprising 120 female and 85 male students. Over the past 2 years, the government has committed more than $30,470,817.48 towards scholarships. During this period, a total of 411 students received scholarships, including 262 females and 149 males. In terms of successful completion, 180 students graduated last year, bringing the total number of scholarship graduates over the past 2 years to 441. At present, 602 students are pursuing studies under scholarship programs both in the Maldives and in 20 countries abroad. This group includes 388 female and 214 male students. The ministry noted that both the Presidential Scholarship and the government-administered High Achiever Scholarship are fully funded schemes. In addition, scholarships and grants are also provided through foreign governments and international partners to support tertiary education. The National Institute for Maldivian Heritage Research has also recently launched the Signature Research Scholarship for Heritage Studies. Under this program, 40 scholarships were awarded last year. Road Development Corporation Limited, or RDC, states that the construction of a classrooms building in Pemfushi, Aliftal Atoll will be completed by the start of the new academic year. RDC said that concrete works on the project have been completed, with interior and exterior finishing works currently underway. The two-story building will comprise 4 classrooms. The project was initially awarded to a private company in 2021 with a completion period of 5 months at a total cost of $297,591.85. However, the work was postponed and the project remained unfinished until 2025. In April 2025, the Ministry of Education reassigned the project to RDC in an effort to accelerate progress, with practical construction work commencing in July. During President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's visit to Pemfushi on the 6th of October 2025, residents appealed for the completion of the classrooms project. Pemfushi, which has a population of more than 1,200, currently lacks sufficient capacity at its local school. The new classrooms are intended to ease space constraints and meet the educational needs of the island's growing population. President Muiz has confirmed that the classrooms are scheduled to be completed in time for the new school year. The Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts, or MOYEIA, reveals that over 40 media outlets have received state funding in accordance with President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's pledge. This marks a historic first time that the government has provided state assistance to media outlets. The government believes the financial support will strengthen private media by enabling it to operate as financially viable and independent entities that practice responsible journalism and create reliable employment opportunities. The Maldives Media and Broadcasting Commission, or MMBC, is responsible for the evaluation and selection of media outlets' eligibility for the state assistance. In line with the set criteria established by the Commission, 40 media outlets have been earmarked for the grant. The ministry stated that upon receipt of MMBC's evaluated and qualified list of media outlets, the ministry has liaised with the Ministry of Finance and Planning and dispersed the funding to all selected media outlets. It said a total of $1,770,398 has been deposited across the accounts of 40 media outlets. The criteria for funding have been revised under the new policy. Allocation will now be based on the media house's progress in administrative capacity, infrastructure, public service content, and public awareness, with marks awarded in each criteria. Allocation will now be based on the media house's progress in administrative capacity, infrastructure, public service content, and public awareness, with marks awarded in each area. This year's state budget has allocated 0.1% of the estimated state revenue. The Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, Dr. Mariam Maria, officially inaugurates the Vadu Green Farm, a flagship community-led initiative that underscores the Maldives' growing commitment to sustainable agriculture, food security, and climate resilience, and the interlinkages of these key issues with broader development goals such as gender equality. Developed through a partnership between UNDP Maldives, the Vadu Association for Future Development, and the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, the project combines commercial-scale hydroponic farming with renewable energy systems. According to the association, it is among the largest hydroponic farms in the country, powered entirely by clean energy, integrating solar-powered irrigation and cooling systems, rainwater harvesting, and environmentally sustainable growing media. Designed for high-yield production, the facility is expected to produce up to 600 kilograms of cucumbers and 400 kilograms of leafy vegetables per growing cycle. The ministry projects the farm will generate more than $5,000 in monthly income, strengthening local livelihoods while reducing reliance on imported produce. A central pillar of the initiative is women's economic empowerment. The ministry highlighted that women have been trained to operate hydroponic systems, while 25 women have received specialized training in solar equipment maintenance, contributing to greater gender parity within the agricultural and renewable energy sectors. In total, more than 40 community members have been trained to ensure the smooth operation of the facility. Vadu now boasts 32.5 kilowatts of solar generation capacity, cutting diesel consumption by 32% and reducing carbon dioxide emissions by up to 20 tons. The ministry stressed that the project aligns closely with the administration's sustainable development goals and stands as a practical example of disaster risk mitigation in the face of accelerating climate change. A high-level meeting convenes to draft a comprehensive policy aimed at ensuring environmental sustainability and food security in the Maldives. Organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, World Agroforestry or ICRAF, and the International Center for Forestry Research or CIFOR, the discussion centered on the National Policy on Agroforestry and Trees Outside Forests 2026. The policy seeks to establish an economically viable and ecologically beneficial system by restoring vegetation across farmlands and residential areas, recognizing the unique environmental conditions and soil challenges of the Maldives Islands. The framework emphasizes the need to protect mangroves and shoreline vegetation while promoting climate resilience agriculture. It also highlights agroforestry's role in mitigating climate change impacts and enhancing food security. Key objectives include empowering agricultural associations, introducing tree planting incentives, and leveraging scientific research to revive native plant species. The policy envisions transforming agriculture into a climate-adapted and sustainable livelihood, which is expected to boost both environmental protection and agricultural productivity, thereby stimulating economic growth. Representatives from the Ministries of Agriculture, Tourism, and Environment, alongside local island councils and global agroforestry experts, participated in the meeting. The finalized policy will play a crucial role in safeguarding the Maldives' fragile ecosystems while securing long-term food and economic resilience. Minister of State for Homeland Security and Technology, Dr. Mohammad Kinanat, attends a curtain raiser event for the forthcoming AI Impact Summit scheduled to take place in India from the 16th to the 19th of February 2026. The event was organized by the Indian High Commission, bringing together various stakeholders ahead of the high-level summit. Discussion centered on the transformative role of artificial intelligence in shaping the future of national security, governance, and technology in the Maldives. The engagement underscores the Maldives' growing interest in leveraging emerging technologies through international cooperation, while reinforcing close diplomatic and strategic ties with India in the rapidly evolving digital landscape. The AI Impact Summit will be the first ever global AI summit hosted in the Global South. The summit aims to establish a path towards a future where the transformative power of AI serves humanity, drives inclusive growth, fosters social development, and promotes people-centric innovations that protect our planet. It also seeks to amplify the voice of the South, ensuring that technological advancements and opportunities are shared broadly, not concentrated in a few regions. In a move to enhance digital banking efficiency and security, the Department of National Registration, or DNR, signs a significant agreement with the Maldives Islamic Bank, or MIB, on Tuesday. The partnership is centered on the integration of the DNR's API link, allowing the bank to instantly verify the identity information of its customers against the national database. According to the DNR, this direct access to its verified data will enable MIB to expedite its service delivery to the public through a more robust and reliable system. This collaboration will further enhance MIB's integration with the Government Online Digital ID (EFOS), facilitating a range of digital services, including streamlined online account creation for customers. This initiative mirrors a similar information sharing agreement the DNR established with the Bank of Maldives, or BML, last year, signaling a continued government push to modernize and interconnect digital services across the Maldives' financial sector. State Minister for Homeland Security and Technology and National Drug Agency's Chairman Ahmad Siddique says the government's move to impose the death penalty on drug traffickers is widely supported by society and is necessary to protect future generations from the drug epidemic. The Third Amendment to the Drugs Act was ratified and gazetted on the 6th of December to come into force on the 6th of April. As per the amendment, the death penalty can be imposed for possession of more than 350 grams of cannabis, 250 grams of heroin, and over 100 grams of other drugs. Speaking on PSM News Rajamyo, the program, Siddique described the amendment as the most significant amendment brought to the act to date. He said drug trafficking fuels crime, weakens families, and destroys lives, making strict punishment essential. He stressed the amendment's aim is deterrence and saving people, not just punishment, and called on families and society to help prevent drug abuse. The government has strengthened anti-smuggling operations and plans major improvements in drug treatment and rehabilitation this year. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz has also pledged to prioritize tackling the drug problem as a major social issue. The Ministry of Tourism and Environment announces the installation of a solar diesel battery hybrid power system in Fihindu Ba Atoll, marking a significant step toward enhancing energy sustainability in the Maldives. The project features a 250-kilowatt solar photovoltaic system paired with a 537-kilowatt battery energy storage system designed to improve electricity reliability, maintain grid stability, and drastically cut reliance on diesel. Once operational, the hybrid system is expected to save approximately 117,697 liters of diesel annually and reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 288 tons contributing to the nation's environmental protection efforts. This initiative is a key component of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's energy policy, which aims to generate 33% of the country's electricity from renewable sources by 2028. The government emphasized that such projects will not only lower fuel import costs, but also advance the Maldives' commitment to a cleaner, greener future. Taking a look at business affairs, Dutch chipmaker Nexperia's European managers faces the company's Chinese owner, Wingtech, in an Amsterdam court in the latest round of a fight for control that has led to a shortage of chips used by carmakers. The dispute at Nexperia escalated on September 30th when the Dutch government seized control of the company, citing fears it was transferring operations and intellectual property to China. The government later revoked the move to defuse a standoff with Beijing. Nexperia makes silicon wafers, discs containing multiple chips, in Europe, which are then sent to its plant in China, where they are cut and packaged. On October 7th, the Amsterdam Enterprise Court ordered the suspension of Wingtech founder Zhang Xiuzheng as Nexperia's CEO and stripped Wingtech of control over Nexperia's shares, citing well-founded reasons to doubt the company was being managed correctly. At the hearing, the first in public, judges will hear arguments on whether they should now order a full investigation into allegations of mismanagement made by senior European executives at Nexperia, or whether the earlier moves should be reversed. A decision will follow at a date to be set later. Updates on world events. Dozens of Iranians arrives in Turkey through a land border as the protests in the country continued. Iranian families and individuals arrived in Turkey's eastern province of Van through the Kapikoy border gate, pulling their luggage and other belongings with them as they made their way through the border and boarded vehicles to nearby towns. Many of them refused to speak to media, fearing repercussions in Iran when they return. Tehran has warned neighboring countries hosting U.S. troops that it would retaliate against American bases if Washington carries out threats to intervene in protests in Iran, a senior Iranian official told Reuters on Wednesday. Rights group Rana said 2,600 people have been killed in recent days in a crackdown on one of the biggest ever protest movements against clerical rule in Iran. Looking into sports, in the heart of the Julian Alps in northeast Italy, 4 winter sports athletes conquers a 350-meter-long course built on a ridge just a few meters wide on the Selanevea Pass. Wakeboard professional and passionate snowboarder Felix Giorgi, 2024 Freeride World Tour champion Max Hitzik, Italian Olympic team member Ian Mattioli, and 2022 Olympic Fabian Bosch took on the challenge. The course included a 6-meter-long rail built between 2 boulders bridging a steep 45-degree slope, as well as a real no-fall zone dotted with rocky edges 110 meters high.
The main challenge is to ride the course here is to be really precise, to land perfectly, to not try too crazy things that you are not sure with. You want to do the stuff you know how to do it, land perfectly, and keep going on the rest of the track.
The course, located at an altitude of 2,050 meters, features 8 jumps and obstacles and runs just a few meters from the rock face. At its narrowest point, a 30-meter-long track stretches across a ridge just a meter wide. Concluding with more lighter news, animals at the Bioparque do Rio Zoo is treated to custom frozen snacks as part of a summer enrichment activity aimed at providing sensory and physical stimulation amid Brazil's heat. Orangutans enjoyed watermelon popsicles, while capuchin and spider monkeys were served melon-flavored treats. Carnivores, including jaguars, received blood-based frozen snacks, with biologists and veterinarians overseeing the activity. The event, which allowed visitors to observe the tailored enrichment activities, highlighted efforts to cater to the specific needs of each species. The Rio de Janeiro-based Bioparque is home to approximately 650 animals, representing 124 species across 56 enclosures. And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.